Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the little rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste my must have statue. Say me like a catch you, but me got in a figure you. Take the spit of money, gal and say that it's not you. One day the man above end up in my gutter. Too much it in the kitchen, some of fly like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption cease.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, them rap and they down in our fever. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the sun man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again.
Stibby-dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love Lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good evening and welcome to Political Spins and Slip of the Tongues. Like the British Prime Minister at the Labour General Conference in Liverpool called for bringing home the Israeli sausages.
To pull back from the brink. I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages, and a recommitment to the two-state solution.
Or whether it be the Labour's flaunting and taunting over Andrew's small little testicle, but we will get into it tonight. I may have various slips of the tongue. Tonight, I am here with a lot of gospel music for you because I'm going to irritate you tonight. But before I irritate you, I'm going to calm you down. Then I'm going to irritate you. Then I'm going to calm you down again and watch for your response. But hey, Jamaica, it is all happening. Johnny come lately to the conversation, but not late for collecting offering. Finally speak out. But what are they saying? Are they saying much? Pretty much nothing much if you think about it. But we're going to go there with them this evening. Carl Floyd Green, because I want to know the difference this evening between Floyd Green and the people of Southwest St. Elizabeth. Carl Floyd Green, call up the laptop them, call up all of the young girls in Black River St. Elizabeth with Floyd Green and walk on order front from with laptop. As I said, I may have slipped off the tongue this evening because it's the political era where if you're not spinning, then your tongue is possible slipping. And I saw it go. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the People's Point of View on your favorite station, the Global Television Group. Debbie Jarvis TV, Deb, some you know, Sharon Bernard, Danette Harriet, Georgia Dennis, Devontae Dunn, Sunshine, RJ, Violet Watson, The Unstoppable One, Ralston Henry, Michelle Lewis Wilson, Lady Bug, Alvis Foster. Wagwan, cuz, how you do? How you do? Marcia Thomas, Norman Ferguson, Myrna Bryan. Wagwan, cuz, Wagwan, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Beat and teach, Wagwan. Good evening, good evening. Anunnaki Indian Nation, good evening. Good evening, everyone. We're sending out love also to Patricia Matthews. She's not feeling well as I am, but I think I'm possibly feeling much better at the moment. But let us continue, bros. How are you? To send out love to our very own Patricia Matthews, which is one of our moderator and a staunch supporter to the Global Television Group. Let us continue to keep Patricia Matthews in our prayers. Murder, the church. The offering collecting church. Talk. So if you have patience, the offering collecting church. He did me case and start talking. You know what I want to Oprah and Tyler Perry in a handcuff. Where are we upon P. Diddy? I want to Oprah and Tyler Perry in a handcuff. What are you waiting for? Abenasa Cody, how you do? Because I'm sure you have something on Oprah. I'm sure you have something on Tyler. I'm sure you have something on Jay-Z. But many people were always saying Jaguar right, mad, Jaguar this, Jaguar that, Cat Williams this, Cat Williams that. Hey, is it all not falling into place? No. Me case on top. We want to see the bang up on Oprah. We want to see how good Oprah look in an orange jumpsuit. We want to see how well Oprah look in a jumpsuit. Hurry up and talk. Jamaica people, the criminals are at it again. Christine Gilbert, how are you? Well, it looks like rain fall everywhere today. It's falling in North America, it's falling in the Caribbean, rain's falling in Europe. Is there anyone here from Africa? Is there rain falling in Africa? Anyone here from Australia? Anyone here from Asia? But there's quite a bit of rain all over the place. But the tropical wave, or what his name, Helene or whatever, the outer band would be affecting the Caribbean. But as I said sometime, and I've noticed it all the time, when you have these high pressures within that Caribbean zone, and once it moves north past the Caribbean heading to the North American region, then us on the other side of the pond here automatically start getting rain as well. But I said we're a balloon in it, so if you juke one part away, it affects the other. So we don't understand how the rain are going. My brother saying, full up every jump, Karen, full up every jump. Full up every jump of water. The Advocate Network, come, you can't read them fine writing here. Can you all screenshot it if you want to read it? Has released a statement today, and they're talking about the crisis in integrity in Jamaica. But I'm sure the Labour Party don't see it like that. The Labour Party don't see an integrity crisis in our country at the moment, because you will see, but we have to go calm on it down first with like a gospel tonight. I'm going to raise on a spirit, because we can't throw this down in a depressed mood. I have to elevate on a spirit a bit first before me throw into the lion's den, because going there tonight, you must, because me now walk out can use stone. Me not walking with the news. So I have to go help Walla in a hit again. Prime Minister fear of the Nolan principle. A government without integrity. Remember this man, I was playing those the interview for you and his talk at the UN and all of his bullshittery. So me bring the thing that the Gleaner article title is Blurred Vision. Wholeness confirmed Jamaica will not meet 2030 development targets. The many mouths that this Prime Minister talk out of. One whole heap, if you're going to count this Prime Minister mouth, you're going to have to start pick here out of your head to count the different mouth with the Prime Minister. But let me bring on the raising of your spirit, because we're soon going to the deluge, you know. We soon get to the deluge point tonight, because we're going to get there. We're not ready to be thrown into deluge. Make me throw you in a deluge, man. Me go throw you in a deluge and come back or come on down again.
that I stand in full support
of the best Prime Minister
since 1962.
Is the man of integrity, love,
and I'm very lucky to have an outstanding Prime Minister, a leader that we can be so proud of.
The transformation. I just gave away 87 black tanks.
Is the best we have had. Southwest St. Elizabeth is in full support. Ladies first. Of
the most honorable, I should say, Dr.
and Jamaica Alonies.
How could I not support a leader who is moving Jamaica forward?
And Your Holiness, continue to be the leader you are.
And I'll do everything in my powers to ensure that he
lead until he is ready to go.
Prime Minister and Party Leader, and Your Holiness.
Travesty of justice is a normal phrase. Travesty of integrity, though, is not one that is not a very common phrase. Travesty of integrity. Who do I start with tonight? Them too much faith got through. Carencia Morris, you lump of bull, spot on the floor. Because we can target you, because you're not government minister. You don't have to be hauled and dragged, political harlot, Carencia Morrison, into the fleet of bullshit. You don't have to, because one at a time I thought you were somebody. But it's just another political bitch, Carencia Morrison, is it not? Been spluttering and fluttering over the Prime Minister's small dick, you political whore, Carencia Morrison. Where is your integrity, woman? Which Don, which badman or which criminal is funding your campaign, Carencia? You want to come out here and talk before I start to flutter and slip off the tongue? Carencia Morrison, you political harlot. Look at you, woman without integrity. Look at what you are standing behind, and you're the one support over the airwaves. Look at you. Look at the bunch of you, a bunch of harlots wallowing disgracefully in front of all of us, thinking that anybody is really taking you all serious out here. What a bunch of garbage. What a bunch of garbage you are. Hey, you know, Carl Slide Green. There's a difference, Mr. Green, when it comes to Mr. Green, the MP, and the people of the constituency of St. Elizabeth. So are you saying, Mr. Green, that when you take COVID laptop and solicit front from young girls in Black River and Southwest St. Elizabeth, are you saying the entire Southwest St. Elizabeth stand with you, Mr. Green? How you come to the conclusion, thieving, front buying with government source, Slide Green, that us The constituents of Southwest St. Elizabeth stand by who? Flag Green. Southwest St. Elizabeth people no make we know. Flag Green say, we no stand by Andrew Holness. We no can't sit down so quiet. So what Southwest St. Elizabeth people? We no are thieves. We no are racketeers. We no are conspirators. We no are tax dodgers. Because Flag Green said, Southwest St. Elizabeth stand with the thief. You see the joke of our politics, where nobody in the Jamaica Labour Party can see or read the mood of the nation, read the Integrity Commission report with the correct interpretation. But what they have been doing is bullying and smearing and blatantly playing jokes and trickery in our face. If it wasn't playing, then they couldn't come tell with them bullshit, yeah. But let me left off a fairly while and go up and another criminal them. The churches. The churches, how are them there? The wicked church. The offering collecting church. The child molesting church. Abuse children around the vestry church. Pastor abusing madman over the gully church. Obia walking church. No, see the need to call upon the Prime Minister to resign. If this was a member of your clergy, under this shadow, but then again, and always having a pedophile popes and when a pedophile bishop and pastor, look pan Ken just run through Miss Blessed jaws like wildfire. And he's the Archbishop for Jamaica or the Monsignor or whatever. And Father Kenneth Richards just run through Miss Blessed jaws like wildfire. When him now run through Miss Blessed jaws, Father cannot run through dead people land. Father cannot run through dead people asset. Father cannot run through Father Albert deadlift asset and wealth. No, see the need to call on the Prime Minister to step down so that the country can have at least a sense of normality in leadership. The Adventist Church silenced long time, Artnell. The Adventist Church silenced long time. Never know they come out yet. Them always back up everything. Remember, the Patrick Allen and Andrew Holness are Adventists, Now I get this thing twisted. Andrew Holness and Patrick Allen are Adventists. Patrick Allen once held top position in the Adventist clergy in Jamaica, in the Adventist organization in Jamaica. He was president of one of their conference. And normalize the wickedness we are deal with. When I deal with Johnny come lately wickedness. But the church, them a call for patience and due process. Call for the Prime Minister to resign if only the church represent anything in Jamaica. But time and time after, on a show, when you don't represent anything, when you represent what you've always represented in Jamaica, land ownership and money grabbing. Land ownership and money grabbing. That's what the church represent in Jamaica from it come there. It never represent anything else. While the crown, they are slave way and a battery, it was the church that held the land. It was the church that take us when them ready, when them ready for make we start read, or when them want to jump the fear of God in us in order to contain us. It was the church duty to make sure you put that chain on their mind before I take the chain off their hands and their feet. Yes, it was the church. That same old wicked church, the same old thieving pedophile church, where they collect money. Yeah, them. The same old land grabbing church. So don't expect the church to say anything too harsh against the government. Remember what if it wasn't the People's National Party? The church was in cahoots with Andrew Holness and him team to sign away with constitutional rights for nothing at all. Black people, the church is not there for your benefit. The church is there for your containment. It's an organization to enrich themselves off of poor people, especially poor Black people. At times, when you come out of the nonsense and use on a money pool together to create wealth for your children, rather than every day, get up and create wealth for the church continue to hold on the down. Want to know Black people? I mean, what is wrong with you all? When you can literally feel the church a hold on the down. The church and the state always work against you. The church was meant to be as they practice and preach, not practice as they preach. And them did meant to stand up for you, and them did meant to stand up to rulers of wickedness in high and mighty places. But isn't the church a part of those wicked ruler in high and mighty places, or however the phrase is? Isn't the church a part of those rulers of darkness in high places? Because they have not proven and that they aren't. My people, stop make people use the fear of God and manipulate you. When you look over TikTok at daytime, them just over there preach like, them just graduate them for preach. So when you stop make people confused, if you don't want to read the Bible, even though I wouldn't encourage you to read it and interpret for yourself. Stop make these religious whores and harlot telling you what God said. You're not deaf. If God can talk, Him can talk to you too. Jesus Christ, it's enough of the bullshit of accepting nonsense and things to say this person sent by God. If you want come abuse you, come rape your children, come collect offering from you. Haven't you seen enough of what God has sent you that they're a bunch of wicked failures? All of these people who are said, man of God and God said, what have they brought from God that has benefited us? Ask yourself that question. Shameless church. Shameless church. You should be calling for the Prime Minister to step aside so the country can have clarity and leadership. But rather, I want the Prime Minister to stay on. Of course, the investigation must go on, but the Prime Minister cannot continue under this cloud. It is too much of a cloud for the nation. way too much.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
This is really not the first time or Andrew Holness's lack of integrity. Sorry, I'm going to pin an article in the description area for you, because I know good enough to read at the moment, but the article is in the top of the chat. You can hit it and read it. But as far back as 2015, let me see if I click it and bring it on the computer where I can see it a bit bigger. But what this article entitles, this article is from 2015, November 27. And the article titled For Parliamentarian. Hold on. Why my thing is freezing there? God. If it cuts out, I definitely will come back on screen. But it's for Parliament. Oh, hold on. What a problem. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Close. Come on. But the article titled For Parliamentarians Have Not Submitted Their Declaration. And the Integrity Commission has been having problem with Andrew as far back as then. And on now, Andrew Holness in the integrity issue. You understand? It's really not now. But the Jamaica Labour Party think this is a prime minister. The thing is puzzling me to come up in a share screen. But the article is in the top of the chat. You can hit it when the live done and read it, because it shows you that this man, a long time, he's been dodging reporting his asset. Therefore, it even more validates Zara Burton's argument that if the Prime Minister if FID is going to look into the Prime Minister financial dealings, FID ought to look beyond what is submitted, particularly from 2008 onwards, because that was where a lot of the Prime Minister assets and dodgy dealing starts. So that must be looked at if the FID is really going to give finality on the issue. Then they should have that thorough investigation so the public can know whether, oops, I want to cut off here, whether the Prime Minister thief or the Prime Minister lie. It is fair enough that the public ought to have that. Was cancelled. That consensus from them leader, or that level of confidence from them leader to say, I trust my leader. When I now read the Nation and say nobody don't trust Andrew Holness at the moment, the Prime Minister's trust level is at an all-time low. No country should be able, should be allowed to function like this, where the country is held at ransom by one man. The country is held at ransom by one man. There goes the article. So you see the date? From 27th of November 2015. Michael Spade, Speaker of the House of Representatives, has refused to indicate whether opposition leader Andrew Holness is in breach of Parliament Integrity of Members Act, which requires legislators to make full declaration about their asset and liability. So on today, Andrew Holness is ducking and diving the Integrity Commission. Me now go read for the coming and strain my eye. And today, Andrew Holness is ducking and diving the Integrity Commission. A long time galang in. So it's not that the Prime Minister has suddenly fall away from grace when it comes to integrity. It's because the nation, as usual, was bamboozled by food, money, and all of the things, them and narrative and clocks and everything where politicians use against we all the time to distract us. So I'm not today. So and it not now go change if we don't change the Prime Minister. Everything that is going on, it all shows that the country requires a general election. But the country is at fault here too. Because the country sit down like it's okay. In any other democracy, you found out that your Prime Minister is involved in so much questionable dealings. The Prime Minister, it can be proved that the Prime Minister from last year has been lying, deliberately lying to the nation. Do you all think this is tenable to continue with a prime minister who, when he opens his mouth, nobody know if he's lying or if he's speaking the truth? Do you think that's a way to run a country when everybody just have to fan them hand after the government when the government speak? Does the Labour Party think this is tenable? Or does the Labour Party think they have anything to gain from this? Because I don't mind those who are used to gyrating over the Prime Minister, you know. Those of his cabinet ministers are meant to do whatever Andrew Holness tell them under what is called the ministerial code. But old careless piece of showboat like Terencia Morrison don't have to swear allegiance to the Prime Minister. Anyone we can call any our colleague, we're colleague into question. If we see them I do things out of the way around with. But Miss Morrison said she stand fair and square behind Andrew. Andrew don't do nothing. A target the whole or no a target Andrew. And me not show Andrew on the bus. Say suit. No. Because they say, from the look of things, a bad mind, the whole on a bad mind, Andrew. So, when you question people these days, they try to use two things to shut you up. Is either your bad mind or you're grudgeful. Is either your bad mind or you're grudgeful. But is it bad mind or target people or target the Prime Minister? Or is it that the questions we're asking of the government are quite legitimate questions that any government should answer to? Now, the British Prime Minister, who you see had a slip of the tongue at the Labour Party conference, is under a swelter of fire in this country. And he's just elected for 10 days. Not 10 days, 10 weeks. But what has been found out about him is that the homosexual Lord Ali, he's been collecting gifts from Lord Ali. Lord Ali has been buying drawers for the Prime Minister's wife. Lord Ali is renting or giving up multi-million penthouse for the Prime Minister's son, 15-year-old son, go study for him exam. And all these things, the British Prime Minister is under a cloud after 10 weeks. The momentum is being stepped up daily for him to resign. And these are just gifts about under 200,000 UK pounds. Under 2,100 UK pounds worth of gifts. And the British Prime Minister has been drugged to the point where you don't even know the difference between sausages and hostages.
To pull back from the brink. I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages, and a recommitment to the two-state solution. To pull back from the brink. I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages, and a recommitment to the two-state solution. A recognised Palestinian state alongside a safe and secure Israel. And that's the message I will take to the UN General Assembly when I travel there later today.
And you want Andrew Holness to stay there with this cloud that is hanging over Andrew. We can count Andrew money. Even in bank account, hard to keep up with. We run out of toe and fingers. Just by counting the Prime Minister's bank account, we don't even have enough toes or fingers to count the Prime Minister bank account. Because we'd have to knock with chest and start again, innit? Prime Minister. When we get toe with one finger them in, we would have to knock with chest and start again. But this Prime Minister, from 2015, he's been dodging the IC. But from 2008, him under Zara Burton probe. And the probe must be extended to Zara Burton remit if FID is going to investigate the Prime Minister thoroughly. This is not tenable. But I hope the Labour Party can accept the damage that they have created for themselves. Because this pending destruction, it is all undoing. I'm going to play one more time to upset the people again. Because I'm not upset. Because when you're upsetting the canon, the pan street and demonstrate, so no do upset. You try upset a little more.
We are thief!
That I stand in full support
Of the best Prime Minister
since 1962.
Is the man of integrity, love,
And I am very lucky to have an outstanding Prime Minister, a leader that we can be so proud of.
The transformation.
I just gave away 87 black tanks.
Is the best we have had. Southwest St. Elizabeth is in full support. Ladies first. Of the most honorable, I should say, Dr. and Jamaica Onis.
How could I not support a leader who is moving Jamaica forward?
And your Holiness, continue to be the leader you are.
And I'll do everything in my powers to ensure that he
lead until he is ready to go. Prime Minister and party leader, and your Holiness.
I just gave away 7 black tanks. It must sound like a black cat, she said. I just gave away 7 black tanks. 7 black tanks. And that Jamaica people to celebrate and plant over this little careless woman. I just gave away 7 black tanks. 80 what is that wherever black tanks? Like seriously? So because you give a few black tanks, then everybody to come celebrate the criminality and the treachery of the Prime Minister. Because of that, when I ask you, and that when I ask we to make sure, say, boy, no wicked. When a wicked bad. When a wicked bad. Me not tell no lie. But me not go quarrel with them over the likes. Me not go do no even worse. Me not go do no worse tonight. Don't you me go quarrel with them over the little likes? Me not go pin the cash up. Not the cash up there. What name? Because when I like the cantankerous galang, I don't know, so I'm not afraid of being cantankerous. So, for those who afraid to hit the like button, see it there, see the PayPal there, hit the PayPal button too. bunch of lazy-handed people. Where all when me sick, me can come out here and talk. But all when uno hearty, phone finger can't hit the like button. You see what I'm bad? Because uno don't respect what we are do as a job. Uno don't respect what we are do as time consuming. Uno don't respect the fact that sometimes someone don't have the time to follow the news and all of that. But we sit down and we make sure we follow it phone so we can bring on up to date information and just sit down here like a people business on a comfy mind and nobody don't want to hit the like button. So okay, if you don't want to hit the like button, pay for watch because a TV in a Britain we pay TV license. And you have TV, you have to pay for watch it. So like we're collect TV license this evening. Good God Almighty. Anyway, back to the criminal them. When you have all of these people defending Andrew Holness, what this is showing us, is that if Andrew Holness have to step down, there's nobody there that we can view, judge, or see as credible to continue the leadership. This shows that all of them are tainted. Every one of them. None of them stand for integrity. None of them stand on the voice of the people. Them don't respect you. Them don't care about you. Them don't give a toss about you. That's why the government can parade blindly and dumbly around you and act like them not here so we attack. Because nobody know how they demonstrate. Nobody know how they vent their anger against the government. I bet you, if I did something about abortion and homosexual, you see how long the church reach out a hero's circle. Because it's only the two things left in a Jamaica where them can fight against is abortion and homosexual. When there's so much pressing issues in the country where the church will stand up and stand up against, and they're rather silent. The government is signing away your cultural rights to Europe and Europeans. And you don't hear the church get up and say a word about it. Everything the government want a dotted line pan. On a day and say the Council of Churches ready to sign pan the government dotted line. We've seen their actions from COVID and the whole of them something there. How the church willing to go along with the government in order to contain and maintain and contain with. Because we nothing slip out of them grip, you see. We must always be controlled, always be their servants, always making sure we are their customers. So them organization continue to flourish financially. You see, until Black people wake up and realize that the church is a multi-billion-dollar business. I repeat, when Black people wake up and realize that the church is a multi-million-dollar business, some of you will want to go back to the church for your money, to invest in your children's education or in your children's future. Because that's all the church's been doing to you, robbing you and lying to you. The churches have been robbing you and lying to you. You notice, since COVID, nobody no need church to make money off of you anymore because they have all moved online. Well, remember the amount of online ministries that came out in COVID? Well, remember how God tell all of those prophets and prophetess about COVID after COVID start? But God know about it, and God never tell none of them about it before it start. But after COVID start, God just a walk and a whisper to all these priests and prophetess. You don't remember them? A lot of them still on social media. I preach. I get into the habakaba science again. And I collect on an offering. And I keep on in a docile state. Me don't know Leroy. Me never do the pan road with him. Me never buck him up in a crab bush yet, Leroy. I me never buck him up in a mango bush. But me no say thief since him a big man. Me no say thief since him a big man, Leroy. I me never buck him up a crab bush nor a mango bush. So me never have a tackle with him there. So we've been tackling with him over with money in it. So we know such thing come big in my teeth. But I want to have a heart to heart now with the Prime Minister. Most of our Prime Minister, as men, have a different touch for our mother than we have for our father. How do you feel given how your mother in particular, we're not even going to bother with the father part, because we don't know which one we're talking about. But we know say one mother you have. How do you feel given how your mother is being spoken about in public? I mean, every tub can turn up on their own bottom prime minister. And we expect you as a big old international thief, thieving in 28 bank account prime minister. That will have to be an international scale. Jamaica have a place to want somebody who hold 28 bank accounts. So that will be thieving on an international scale. But to see your mother, Prime Minister, is embroiled in the husk of her crooked son, how do you feel of the treatment of your mother in public? As sons, Prime Minister, we are very protective when it comes to our mothers and our sisters. But it's you, though, Prime Minister, have brought this cloud of shame upon your mother and your sister. I mean, even your brother have more integrity than them are. I wonder if it's the Rastafarianism in Mighty Mystic. Why Mighty Mystic not get involved in your crime, Prime Minister? It is quite shameful, very shameful, to see that not only the Prime Minister, but the mother of the Prime Minister is being embroiled in the Prime Minister's money laundering scandal. This is disgraceful, you know. This is disgraceful for what it is and what it has turned out to be. The Prime Minister alone involved in a money laundering. But when the mother of the Prime Minister becomes involved in money laundering, then at least, if you have any respect for your mother, Prime Minister, you would step aside to quell the battery that your mother is enduring because of your crime that you have introduced to her, Prime Minister. Prime Minister, you've fallen short, not of just being a leader, but of as a son, a father, and a man. You have fallen short on your wholeness. You've fallen short as a father, as a son, as a husband, as a brother. Prime Minister, you've fallen short because you've brought your sons, even before majority age, Prime Minister, into your criminal organization. You're racketeering. Your wife is a part of your racketeering group. And as the Integrity Commission suggests, Prime Minister, your mother and your father, one of your father, is a part of the racketeering group as well. Prime Minister, this is disgraceful. By any stretch of imagination, Prime Minister. These are not gifts we're discussing like the British Prime Minister, you know. We're discussing money laundering. We're discussing tax evasion, racketeering, conspiracy by the entire Jamaica Labour Party. Prime Minister, this is disgraceful. You do not have the credibility to continue, Prime Minister, nor does the Jamaica Labour Party has the credibility to continue. And therefore, we are calling as a nation for a general election. There'll be no sad farewell for this Prime Minister, because all of we want to get rid of him.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
How can Andrew Holness said this 10 years ago, but fail to honor this and think that he can go back on his word and then we think he has any integrity? When do you have Zelle? How would the Zelle number be again? Hold on there. Do you have Zelle? Do you have Zelle? Zelle. Here is the Zelle number. Thank you very much for asking. You can Zelle me or PayPal me. So yes, Anna today, Anna no yesterday, Andrew walk and fleece money and hide it. It is a well-established fact that this Prime Minister is a criminal. Question to the people of Jamaica. Do you feel comfortable in being ruled by a criminal? One who, after 3 years of investigation, his assets still cannot be verified. After 3 years, we've found out that the Prime Minister have more bank account than fingers and toes. We've found out that the Prime Minister family is assisting the Prime Minister in money laundering, tax dodging, and tax evasion, and all sorts. Can this Prime Minister continue to lead? Should this Prime Minister continue to lead? Is the people of Jamaica comfortable with the leadership of Andrew Holness? Is that what we deserve, my people? Is that what we deserve? Look at how much, even before we were aware of the Integrity Commission report, look at the amount of money been missing from 3 departments, including the Office of the Prime Minister. 1.7 trillion. 1.7 trillion of our public money has been unaccounted for, possible embezzled, possible stolen, misappropriated. Share between the teeth them, as you hear in one of Zara Burton report in relation to Nigel's Clark Foundation. When you come near to election, money just a go in so, and money just a come out so. We'd heard from the Integrity Commission report where the Prime Minister just a push money from one account to the next so. If it was you and I, we would be under heavy criminal investigation, or assets would be seized because we can't talk where we get it from. Only when you're a Prime Minister of Jamaica, or only when you're in a corrupt class in a Jamaica, you can walk and thief and rob any amount you want, and you don't face no penalty for it. Because in Jamaica, we have many different Jamaica. We have Jamaica for the rich and the poor. We have Jamaica for the black and the white. We have Jamaica for the classless and the class full. There are so many different Jamaicas. We have Jamaicas behind the zinc fence. We have Jamaicas up on top at the hill. We have so many different Jamaica. We have Jamaicans with thief and get away with it. We have Jamaicans with thief and go to prison for it. We have Jamaica with murder and rape and go to prison for it. And we have Jamaicans with murder and rape and dip on road like Darrell Vaz. That's the country we live in. And it look like Jamaicans more and more happy with it because nobody no feel like get up and stand up against the tyranny that this government have us under, particularly since that stolen election, that by-election in 2020. We've been living under tyranny. This government have we under a police state ever since he come in office. This government have to be taken to court to take we out of the police state where this government have we in a COVID. The only we get the strict instruction, turn your wara hit yard. As the little girl would have said, and government say, on a fit turn on a yard. Government saw no fit turn on a yard. And even when on a turn on the yard, government say, they might come pull on the fan under bed. And government did it. Jamaica people all gone so cold. Me not ask them if go, they go show violence, Me ask them if go, they go show no discontent. It's the power that is given to all of us in a democratic country within a constitution to vent against the government, to protest against the government. We have freedom of assembly where we can come together and turn up one place and sing and shout and bawl, say, murder, murder, thief. Because that's what this government is.
You a thief!
Hey!
Why you a thief?
If you think it's bad for us, just imagine what we're leaving for the next generation. If you think, say, it's bad, say, we were there. Wait till this fleet of labor right, mash it up and walk well left it. Because if we don't yank them hands off it, I guarantee you, by the time them get back to it, we don't have much use for it. By the time them done with it and give it back to it, we don't have much use for it. You don't hear the man already tell we after how much then thief. The man come tell us that we're not going to meet with 2030 development. With 2030 development targets. But you cannot say that of the Prime Minister's companies. I don't think anyone can say of the Prime Minister's company that them now going to meet them development target. Because we say, if you make so much money, Prime Minister, and you're submitting zero taxes, zero taxes, with all these money running through the Prime Minister's account, zero taxes, and the Jamaica Labour Party supporters who are working hard and paying their taxes, they don't see an issue with it. They really do not see an issue with Prime Minister Fear of Nolan principle. Not one issue. The money for your children education, the money for your children hospitals, the money for your children road, light, and water, is being siphoned away by this current administration. Your prime minister, who you have given a mandate in its majority to run your country. When you elect a prime minister, you elect a prime minister to run the country. The sole job of the prime minister is to administer the business of the country. At that same time, while you're paying your prime minister handsomely to look after your country, your prime minister, because what you have to remember, you have one working day in every day. So Monday, you don't have 2 working days in a Monday where the prime minister can use this part of Monday to be prime minister. Then use this part of Monday to be the director executive for his companies. Then use this another part of Monday to study for his degree. The prime minister is not interested in doing our job. I don't see why the prime minister continue to hold on for dear life. The prime minister claimed that he never take the pay rise and he go give it, he have a good man give it back. Now you see why the prime minister did want to give it back in money, because 1, him don't need it, and 2, him not doing any work for it, so we are paying him in vain anyway. So therefore, the prime minister should really consider giving us back our money. The prime minister should consider giving us back our money because the prime minister has not done our job. The prime minister was studying for his degree and the prime minister was running his companies. So the prime minister have to give it back with money. Give it back with money because you have not done our job. What you have done over the last 8 years is running your companies. And since the last 4 years, you embark on an in-depth full-time study, Prime Minister. You can't do fluid job and I do so much sinting at the same time. I mean, we Sankey sing so. Only in a JLP, you get them type of Sankey there. Where the Prime Minister have 3 very powerful and time-consuming tasks running together all at once. Running a country, studying a full-time degree, and running more than over 2-3 company or more. Jamaica, the Prime Minister could not have done anything beneficial to our country. So the Prime Minister needs to resign, and he also needs to pay way back with money. Because the Prime Minister has been collecting from us under false pretense. The Prime Minister can't run for him company them so good. Study and pass a degree full time. And still did our job. Jamaica, I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going because we accept everything, you know. That is one of the things that annoys me so much, is how much that we're willing to accept. We can't continue like this, my people. This is not tenable nor tolerable. The country needs a general election. At some point, I would have said Andrew must step down. The travesty of the Jamaica Labour Party at the moment, there is no nobody there credible. Not even the lollipop face Edmund Bartlett. Not even Edmund Bartlett. Where is Debbie Jervis? Not even Edmund Bartlett. So that makes it all more for the nation that we ought to have a general election. It's not fair that the nation should have been left in this type of limbo because the Jamaica Labour Party chose to stand behind such a disgrace. Okay, then. Such a disgrace. It's not fair. It is not fair to the country. And it's you, the people of Jamaica, must react to this. React by demonstrating against the government. React by staying at home if you're afraid to go out a road, go demonstrate. But you cannot continue like this. If you have to boycott the big PSA 21 family, them, boycott them. I see in the papers today, Guyana is being asked to relax its homosexual laws in order to boost tourism. Hey. Lord Jesus, me say if we don't stand up to this new tyranny that has been enforced, the new tyranny of freakism and transgenderism, because it's not a gay thing, you know. What is coming is not a gay thing. It's the tyranny of the sexes. And women have more to lose. The degenderization that is coming is targeting women. It's a plot to devalue women. It's a plot to remove your symbols and status in society. You hear one of the fuckery where they come with cis women and trans women. Now what does that fuckery means? In the academic speaking of modern day, what they refer to as cis women are mothers. And then, you know, they refer to the other bullshittery as trans women. Don't have no problem with nobody. Everybody knows say me a gay, I'm happy with myself. But there's certain fuckery that sometimes you have to say it's fuckery. Because what is coming is not homosexuality. What is coming is men wearing dress with their big beard and them men feature, but they're in dress and you have to refer to them as mom or she or her, some form of fuckery. It is coming to Jamaica, you know. Is that the way how una go sit down silent when it come? Or is that the way how una go sit down silent now and allow it to infiltrate before you stand up and tell Andrew, say, no, we now go accept the transgender and the freakism in our society? Because it is a very confusing galangin. When I used to be in the private sector, I am confused because colleague will come at work with them in a them wig and skirt and beard And it fucked up my mind for the whole day because organizationally, you're meant to have a conversation with them. Humanly, you normally refer to people as their name or their sex when you're speaking to them. In this fuckery, you're stalled. You're talking to a man in skirt and wig and heels, but you don't know if you feel refer to him as a man or a woman because even though him in the skirt and heels, him will tell you, say, I'm a man, all about me is a man, I feel like a man. It's a fucked up world. But no. Stand up against it. Only just lily livered, so it's irritating. Anyway, I did tell you all I'm going to have slips of the tongue tonight. I hope the slips are not too disturbing, but thank you all very much for being here this evening on The People's Point of View. Join us back tomorrow where we will continue to look out for the benefit of the greater good of our people and our country. Good night from Global Television.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who was openly accepted.
My friend Norman, Dr. John Crowder, listen, David Lammy is one of those who, I don't know how far up white people's ass David Lammy is. When you see these British politicians, except for Diane Abbott, the whole of them are white man and white woman they're married to. Them don't speak on behalf of us. Like literally. David Lammy government just cut the winter fuel payment for elderlies in the United Kingdom. So make coal kill them because we can't pay 1 point too much billion for heat them. But we can pay how much a billion to Ukraine to fight a war. But I'm going to do a piece on the Ukraine and Russia war and how close we are to World War III. Not how close, how far we are into World War III and how close we are to nuclear war. And if we get to nuclear war, how much hours do we have before a total extinction of most of us? Thank you all and good night.
Responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
Jamaica.